Hello and welcome back to another episode of FoxyNoTail's Minecraft Adventures here inside of my Bedrock Edition survival realm. And today we're going to be doing things, yay, things. But before we do that, I just want to talk very, very quickly about my new podcast. Have you seen my podcast? Or even better yet, have you heard my podcast? So, yeah, I've got a podcast where I talk about Minecraft and my personal life and other things. I've just started it. My first episode went out this week. And so far, it's got a really good response, and you can find it on Spotify and Apple Music and other popular podcasty things like TuneIn and stuff like that. So, anyway, I'm not going to go rabbiting on about it, but yeah, feel free to have a listen to it or watch it. It's available on my YouTube channel as well. But yeah, have a listen, see what you think, and give me your comments. Right, anyway, so back here again. I still haven't moved this box. I've took all the iron out of there that we got in the last episode, and Val has given me an empty chest. Oh, thanks, Val. No, I've already took it. There was like, I think 5 or 6 stacks of iron blocks in there, which was absolutely amazing. So, yeah, I've got all of my beacons fully powered now with iron. And I've also, if I go upstairs very quickly into here, let's have a look in here. You'll see I've got a load of iron in here now as well. So I'm stocked for iron. You might also see I've got 6 blocks of diamonds in there. That's because my jewel box, which I keep my main diamonds in, is completely full. I've got 64 blocks of diamonds, 64 blocks of gold, 64 blocks of iron, 64 of everything except for the slime in here, although I could do that because I've got more slime downstairs. So yeah, things are going well, and the reason they're going well, oh no, is that I did some digging off camera, and if you want to see all my mining that I did, check out my next podcast because I'll be using that in the background of the video of the podcast that I release on YouTube. So there we go. Anyway, that's enough about podcasts for now. What are we doing today? What are we doing indeed? Well, let's go down into my underground mine area, and we can go really fast now because I've got, what's it called? Swiftness. Yeah, we built in the last episode this amazing cocoa bean machine, and I love it. I think it's great. I love the style of it more than anything else, and you might just about be able to notice as we look up, there's loads of weird little white lines. That is string, and that is to stop the vines growing because the vines have gone crazy in this thing. So I've gone around plastering bits of string everywhere to try and stop the vines growing quite so far. And at the moment, it's looking pretty tasty in here. Pretty tasty indeed. I like it. I really, really like it. It looks good. And I've left a cocoa bean there just so that you can see what this is all about. So today we're going to be building here. What a surprise! We're building underground again. That's right, I'm building yet another farm, and this one is going to be for cooked meat. But not just beef, and not just mutton, and maybe not just pork. I was also wanting to do cooked rabbit with it as well, but I'll explain why we might not be able to do that as I hop over to my ideas world. So hopping into my ideas world, I have been working on this and these, which are all sorts of different sort of cow and pig and sheep and rabbit automatic cooking machines, and you'll see that these ones, well, these two here, the cow and the sheep one, are very similar, and I'll go through how they work. Let's just grab ourselves some cows. Let's imagine that I've taken the time to go out in the world. No, you're not allowed to escape. Stop escape. Oh man. Why are they jumping already? The water's not on. Stop bouncing. Sit down. Sit. You just can't get the cows these days, can you? Let's put that up a bit higher. Let's see if we can do that again. And where's my cow egg gone now? Who's stolen my cow eggs? Right, okay, let's try this again. So let's drop some cows in here, and let's assume that I've spent the time going and getting a couple of cows and breeding them up inside this thing. You press the button which fires water out of a dispenser. They start bobbing up and down, and you feed them wheat. And as they start feeding wheat, they want to be breeding. They make little cow babies, and the little cow babies flick through into the side there. And when you turn the water off again, they fall and they come down here. Now you might see that there are some cows that have made it out here rather than in there. And that's mainly because I'm using glass. And for whatever reason, when you use glass, things tend to glitch out, which is really bizarre. I don't understand why it happens, but it's particularly bad with rabbits. So that's how this works. And then I've also got a piston here. And all this is for is, let's say I want to just breed the cows in there just to get the numbers up in this thing. I can turn the water on, and I can breed those up, and I can get more baby cows in there, but they're not going to fall through the bottom because that piston's across. So that's the only reason that piston's there, and then I can open that up again and they can get out. So that's the cow one. The sheep one works in exactly the same way, but the pig one's a little bit different. And the reason the pig one is different is because Pigs are smaller. They've got a much smaller hitbox. So if we chuck some pigs into this one, you'll see that they're... Hey, how do they keep doing it? The pigs are 1 block high, whereas the cows are 1.5 blocks high. So if we did the same system, the pigs would just fall straight down. They won't stay in there. So what I've had to do is use a half slab instead, and that way the baby pigs can still get through. If we breed this thing up here, let's give some of these some nice tasty carrots, and you'll see that the baby pigs will then still glitch through and they'll go where they're supposed to go, which is good. So that works. And again, I've got the piston thing here, but you'll notice it actually pushes out that block as well. So what I've had to do when I built this over there is add another piston on the other side to push that back again. So those all work absolutely fine. The sheep and the cow and the pig ones all work fine. Right, so coming to this rabbit one then, this is a different design because rabbits just will not stay in the machine. They just glitch out, whereas these ones have got like a cross design. They don't glitch out from the corners. I'm guessing because the animals are bigger. But the rabbits, they want to glitch out. They glitch through the glass, they glitch through the corners. And this system is completely different. And the reason for that is that the rabbits will, even full-size rabbits, will go underneath a half slab. So what I've had to do here is put a fence post in there. And the fence post has to be surrounded by glass so that there is room for the baby rabbits to fall down, because otherwise, if I put a full block there, the fence will connect to it. Let's just grab a full block like this and let's put a full block there, and you can see the fence connects to it, and therefore its hitbox gets bigger. So it needs to be like that, so it's not touching on any sides. And then you can add the rabbits on the top of the fence post, which is absolutely fine. You can get loads of them on there, and if I go in there and move them about, they'll all go into the corners, and that's fine. Nothing's glitched out yet. We've got no rabbits where we shouldn't have, apart from a couple of baby ones that spawned in from the eggs that should come down here. That's fine. Let's turn the water on, and let's give these things loads of tasty carrots, and let's see what happens. Let's see if they actually manage to stay inside the system this time. Because last time I did this, it was 50-50. Some did and some didn't. And I don't want a system that's going to mean I've got rabbits all over my world. So I turn the water off. The baby rabbits should all fall down here, and some of them have, some of them haven't, but they have been contained, which is good news. So that's not so bad then. We've got a working design for all 4 different things, and I know there's chickens and other things as well, but these are the things that I want cooked meat from. And the next issue is that I want cooked meat, which is fine if you've got, let's say, for instance, if we've got a cow, and I'm just going to build something up here. If I've got a cow that's in there, and I press this button, that's going to... Oh, I don't want to make another cow. I press that button, that's going to set off a 1-tick lava pulse, and that will burn that cow, and then that cow will die, and it will drop cooked beef, which is amazing, and it works for pigs, and it works for sheep as well. Let's just do it again. That gives us a 1-tick lava pulse, the pigs burn, and then we get the, then we get the cooked pork chops from the pig. Now, the problem is, and I can't seem to find a way around it, but rabbits, if we pop a rabbit there and then press the button, 1-tick lava pulse instantly kills it, and you get no drops because the drops burn. So they can't survive even 1 tick of lava, which means that we can't have cooked rabbit. What we can do is we can put the rabbits in there and we can crush them, which is fine, and then we get the rabbit hide and the rabbit meat, but it's not cooked. So this design I've got here, the idea is that all of the baby sheep, all of the baby cows, all of the baby pigs, and all of the baby rabbits would make their way through into this central area here. They would go down on top of those hoppers there, and before I had a lava dispenser in here that would burn them, we'd get the cooked stuff through and it would go through. But now I've had to add this crushing system in, which means that none of it's going to be cooked. So what I then have to do is, rather than just having a chest at the top, basically what happens after that point is the items go through this hopper, they go through this dispenser, they go up a water stream, and they come into the top. I would then need some sort of sorting system that sent the meat items through to a furnace and smelt them, which isn't a particularly bad thing to do. It's just a lot more complicated when just using a tiny little bit of lava, I can make everything cooked except for the rabbit. So I'm thinking what I might do is come up with a completely different design to this and just forget about the rabbits. I don't need rabbit meat. Pigs and sheep and cows will be absolutely fine, and that way we could probably have them all across the back row like that, coming forward, and make this thing look a little bit better, because it does look a bit weird. Now, I've not looked at making this pretty yet. This is just for function, and all of these things are exactly the same as those over there, but just with a bit more glass around to make to make it work. Okay, so this is the design I've come up with, which is not the most fantastic design in the world. It does the job. It's by no means a fully automatic farm. It's very semi-automatic or very manual, and it kind of looks like ice cream now that I've done all the colours. So what it is we've got the cow thing here, which is exactly the same as that over there. What we do is we press the button, we feed them a load of wheat, which they probably won't take now because I've just fed them once just to test this thing. Oh, they're taking it a bit. They will then breed. As soon as they've stopped, finish it. Oh, see? Why does that happen? How did that happen? Do you see those baby cows fling out of there? The idea is the babies will then flow through here. They'll go down into this section here, and then they will wait on that slab there until they're fully grown. Then you come over the pig one, grab yourself some carrots, press the button. The big pigs will pop up and down, feed those until they will stop eating, basically once they've all been fed. And then you can turn the water off again. Hopefully things won't glitch out everywhere and you will end up with some pigs down at the bottom going through these tubes here and into that area there. And then the same thing with the sheep. So you would press the button, grab your wheat, turn that on, feed the sheep until they're all full and they don't want anything else to eat. And then press the button again to turn the water off. And then if we look down here, the baby sheep should be flowing through. They will all end up down there. And then in about 20 minutes time, those will all be fully grown, and then you can press this button. That will turn the lava on for one pulse, and it will burn everything, and all the drops will go through this dropper and up to the top. Obviously, it's not been 20 minutes. So, and the cows actually survived. Maybe they need a couple of hits from that then. But yeah, they would drop everything down there, and it would all go into this dropper. That will go up the water elevator and into this chest at the top. So that's how it would work. So it's okay. The farms themselves work all right, apart from the actual babies glitching out and flying everywhere. But apart from that, it's okay. And then we've got these blockers as well. So if I turn that piston off there like that and put that one on, it's very basic. Did you see all those pigs shoot out of that then? Did you see that? That's ridiculous. I think I'm going to have to build this without glass and do it with blocks instead, because everything's just glitching out everywhere and I don't understand. I really wanted it to be glass because I want to be able to see what's going on. Okay, first things first then, I'm going to need loads of concrete and loads of sand to make loads of glass, and I am going to need some gravel as well. So I'm going to have a look into how much gravel I've got in my chest. I do actually think I've got a reasonable amount. I've got a bit there, and I've got quite a lot downstairs in my storage boxes, so I think we'll be okay for gravel. It's mainly just sand, and I don't even think I've got a sand chest here. Have I got a sand chest up here? That one? I've got, no, one stack. Let me just go downstairs and check my downstairs area quickly. Right, so in this room here, we might have some gravel still down there. Yeah, look at that. We've got a whole double chest, 2 double chests of gravel there, 3, nearly 4 double chests of gravel, plus if we go upstairs, because I started moving everything up here as well, we've got another nearly double chest of gravel there. So we're not short on gravel. What about sand? A double chest of sand there and a bit there. Oh, I don't need to go on a resource gathering mission. Hooray! Although more sand is going to be useful. Right, well, I've laid all of the concrete powder out. This isn't where I'm going to be putting it, but just so that I can wet it and, get some concrete out of this. But I've come up with an idea while I've been placing all of that, and that is to not do the design that I showed you earlier on in the video in my ideas world. I'll still be using the same idea for the actual farm, but I've decided what I'm going to do is actually make it in the style of a laboratory if I can. So you like at the front, you'd walk through one door and you would get like where the cows and the sheep and the pigs are in one laboratory room, and then the baby cows and sheep and pigs would go through into another room, and then they would get processed if you like, and then you go into another room to cook it and all that sort of stuff. So that's how I think I'm gonna do this, which might work out okay, it might not, it might be a completely disaster, who knows. And I've just realised that my corner ones aren't going to get wet, but not to worry. So yeah, so it's going to be completely different from what I came up with in my ideas world, but hopefully it'll work out pretty well. We'll see. Okay, so not a great deal has really progressed since the last clip that I did, but I have been working on it for quite a long time. This is sort of my laboratory decoration plan, if you like. So we've got 2 floors with a staircase going up, and I'm literally just working on actually what this is going to look like before I decide on how it's all going to fit in. So I haven't finished it because I've run out of white concrete, believe it or not, but we've got like the bone block going across the top there, which is almost like just breaking it up a little bit. We've got some sea lanterns behind there for lighting. The ceiling at the top is going to be all sea lanterns just because I've got millions of them. And yeah, that's how it's going to be. And then, so we're going to come in, we're going to go upstairs, and we'll be able to feed the cows and the pigs and the sheep here. And then we'll be able to drop down, we'll be able to see the babies coming along some pipelines and through into a different room. And then in that room, they're going to get cooked and all that sort of stuff. So it's, yeah, it's a work in progress. This is taking a lot longer than I thought it would today, to be honest, because I wasn't planning on building a big laboratory. I was just planning on having a, you know, a little bit of a meat farm. Well, it's looking very plain and flat at the moment, but it's not too bad. I've filled in all of the external blocks and obviously the floor. So now what I've got to do, I haven't done anything with the front yet, as you can see. But what I've got to do now is add in the actual cow, pig and sheep bit up here, and then like have the pipe work all coming down and then make individual rooms. So I could have a room for each individual animal, but I like the idea that they're all in the same room. And I've just noticed those two bone blocks there are not facing the right direction. That's no good, is it? Okay, so yeah, a ridiculous more amount of time has passed, and I'm still not a great deal further on with it. I've now created these pods. They still need the water in the dispensers, but these are the different pods that are going to be happening or being used. We can go up these, and each one's got a button. You press that, and the water will spit out, and it will do the appropriate thing that it needs to do, and we can walk around. We've got a little walkway. I do need to fill this in, but I've pretty much run out of slabs. I've got 3 left, and these are quartz slabs, so they're quite expensive. So yeah, I need to fill those in. And then downstairs, I've moved the staircase just so it sort of comes down to here. So the pipes will come down from each one of those. They'll transport the animals around, and then we just need like a little killing chamber, or the cooking chamber, if you like, and where it comes out of that. So it's actually surprisingly a small, well, it's a smaller area than I really gave it credit for when I started with. I thought, oh yeah, this is plenty big enough to have different rooms and things like that. I've tried putting rooms around all of these pods. I've tried splitting them up with like walls down the middle and things, and it just feels too cramped. There's not enough room to get around. So I'm going to leave it more open plan like it is now. Maybe add a little bit of decoration at some point. But yeah, it's not going to be quite as wonderful and exciting as I thought it was going to be, sadly. Well, more has gone on. I've got more stuff going on. I've moved the stairs yet again. Just because they keep getting in my way. This hasn't changed at all up here, apart from where the stairs are. And down here we've got where the pigs will come out down here into that water stream, the cows will come out into that one, and the sheep will come out into that one. Now, I don't know if this is going to work because this is using blue ice, and I don't know if that is going to make any difference to the mobs moving, and there's a gap. So I'm worried that the baby pigs will get to there and stop. I'm hoping there's enough momentum that they will then go into that water stream, carry on into that one, and then come into here. And at this point, we're going to have the little sort of lava blade bit. But before I do anything else, I want to make a copy of this world, put it into creative mode, and yeah, just check it's going to work, because this is taking me an awfully long time today to get to where we're at today, because we're doing it all just making it up as I go along in survival mode, and I want to make sure it works before I carry on with it. So let's see you in the creative world. There we go. We are in creative mode, and this is no longer my realm. This is just in my single player games list, so don't worry, I've not made myself in creative mode on my realm. It's this one here, this copy of it. All I've done is downloaded the exact realm and opened it up in creative mode. So let's see if this actually works. We need a spawn egg. Let's grab some piggies. Now, these are going to be adults rather than babies, but hopefully it'll do the same thing. Let's chuck those in there and let's just see what happens. Now, if there's more than one, it looks like they get pushed through. But if there's just one, yeah, I don't think that the ice really does a great deal. So that's not a very good design, because they're just going to get stuck. Maybe they'll go round slowly, but surely no. Look, that one's just stuck there. He's not having any of it. Right, okay. In that case, I need a plan B. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the rest of it in creative mode and then go back into my realm and build it, because, yeah, it's just very, very slow building in survival mode. Okay, I think I've pretty much got this sorted out now. So all of the water streams now come to this point in the center here. And then the animals just drop onto that hopper there, and then we've got a little button which does a 1-tick lava pull. So if we chuck a few pigs in there, and a few in there, and if we can come around the back here and get a few in there. I know they're not all for pigs, this, but that'll do for the testing. Let's drop them in. They should, hopefully, all end up in the same place. That one's the one I just missed. So they're all coming through. There is a little bit of argy-bargy going on here, but that shouldn't happen because we'll only ever be using one of these farms at once. So, and there'll be babies as well. And then they'll fully grow. When we can see the fully grown, we just press that button there. They'll get set on fire. It might take a couple of attempts, but eventually they will drop all of their cooked pork and it will go into that chest there, which is great. So upstairs is exactly the same as it was. I have put a hole in the floor. I don't need that anymore. And yeah, we'll be able to work on this. So let's just go and put the pigs in here. Let's make sure this is actually going to work all the way from the top like that. And I just basically keep clicking on the carrots to try and feed them. If we turn the water off again, hopefully they won't all ping out. They should have gone down that hole there. I don't know if they have. I don't know if this has worked at all. It doesn't look like it has, to be honest. Have we got anything that's come down here? Are they the ones that we've just done? Yeah, they're babies, look. So they have just come through. So let's just get rid of this all. Just clear it out completely and start that again. Right, I've put a trap door there instead this time. Hopefully that will work. I will give the baby pigs a little bit more room to go. I've replaced the pigs with ones that will actually want to breed now. So let's give them a load of carrots. Let's press the button again and let's see. We've still got babies on that platform there. I want them to go out. I was hoping there would be enough pigs there that they would sort of ping out of there. But it doesn't look like there are. Let's fill it up. Let's keep chucking more and more pigs in there. The problem is I don't want to completely lag out the world. This is a tricky one. This one's popped out. Oh no, they're glitching through. This is a disaster. It worked so well in the testing world. Why is it not working here? Right, I'm going to try something with flowing water. Basically, I've given the pigs double the amount of space to actually, move about in. So hopefully this time we'll get flowing water in there. So when we breed them, the babies will sort of flow off to the side. I'm hoping that's going to work anyway. Let's just try this. Let's feed as many of these as possible. Press the button again and see what happens. Are they going through? I think they did. I think the baby pigs were going through because look, this is pushing them to the side. The only problem is I think we're only going to be able to breed half of the pigs doing it this way. There's only half of them are actually jumping up for breeding, so yeah, it's not ideal. Oh, now they're dying. They're drowning. Well, I've been messing about with this pig one. The cow and the sheep one are absolutely fine, by the way, but the pig one I'm having all sorts of problems with. I've looked online for Bedrock Edition tutorials for pig farms. No one seems to have a particularly good one. There's a lot of YouTubers that go, oh yeah, this is a cow and sheep and pig farm, and they basically do pretty much what this design is, which doesn't work for pigs because the pigs just fall down because they're only a block tall. So I'll stick with the design I've got for it, and we'll just have to, it'll have to just be a little bit hit and miss with that one. But in terms of the main rest of the design, how this works down here, this is absolutely fine. So I'm going to build this in the survival world, and then, yeah, that should be this just about done. It's just a shame that it's not really going to work too well for pigs. Oh man, I've been talking to myself again. Anyway, yeah. This is pretty much exactly how we had it in the creative world now, even to the point where we've got the lava that flicks on and off, which is good. All that seems to be working okay. We've got our pods up here, and I've even gone around and added some chests in up here as well to store the wheat and the carrots and things like that. All the pods are as they were. We've got no animals in yet, and the pig one obviously is going to be a bit of a problem like we showed in the creative world, but hopefully it won't be too bad. Hopefully it'll work okay. What will probably happen is the babies will end up just glitching out and we'll have to just sort them out manually, but it's not a big problem. The cow and the sheep one will work absolutely fine. It's looking very clinical in here, very bare. It needs some decoration, it needs something. I do like the look of the sort of bland laboratory, but it needs something. It needs a hint of colour somewhere. Maybe some like black and red glazed terracotta or something in the walls, or maybe some sort of floor pattern. I don't know. And downstairs, I quite like downstairs. You've got the difference from the iron blocks, whereas upstairs it's just the white concrete. So I suppose downstairs looks a little bit more noisy, and with all this going on, it's, you know, it's quite in your face. But outside, I haven't done any decoration or anything like that yet. But I have spent enough hours working on this today. So I'm going to say thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. And hopefully, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!